Listen more, talk less. Got it. What's number 2?
Number 2, be consistent and predictable. Now, even if your teen acts completely indifferent, maybe even annoyed by your routines or your rules, that predictability, it builds safety, it builds trust. Deep down it does. Having clear expectations and, importantly, consistent follow-through, it signals that you are emotionally stable, that you're reliable. And that foundation is actually critical for them to feel secure enough to push against boundaries, which is part of their job.
Right. They need that stable wall to push off from. Okay. Makes sense. Number 3.
Number 3, respect their need for autonomy. Research is pretty clear on this. The more controlling a parent tries to be, often the more teens tend to push back, rebel, or maybe even shut down. So instead of laying down ultimatums all the time, try offering choices where you can. For instance, instead of do your homework NW, maybe try, okay, you're responsible for your homework. Do you want to tackle it before dinner or after?
Giving them some agency.
Exactly. It's about autonomy, supportive parenting. And researchers like Sonens and Van Steenkist showed in 2010 this approach actually leads to better academic and emotional outcomes. It's about giving them agency within reasonable boundaries.
Okay. Respecting autonomy. Number 4.
Number 4 is a favorite of mine. Make time for low-stakes moments. This is where some of the absolute best conversations with teens often happen. Not in a scheduled let's talk meeting, but during those relaxed, non-pressured activities. Think about driving in the car, cooking together, doing a puzzle, walking the dog. The goal isn't necessarily to solve something or fix something. It's simply to be together. It creates space for connection without an agenda. That's when they often open up.
Yeah, the side-by-side moments. Less pressure. Okay, number 5.
Number 5, admit when you're wrong.
Ooh, that's a tough one for parents sometimes.
It is. But it's so important. When you mess up, and let's be honest, we all do model repair. It could sound like, I was really harsh earlier. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that. And I actually want to understand what's going on for you. This isn't showing weakness. It models accountability. It models humility. And those are 2 crucial traits every teen needs to see in action, so they can eventually embody them themselves.
Modeling repair. Huge. Okay, and the last one, number 6.
Number 6, celebrate who they are, not just what they produce. This means shifting your focus, or at least broadening it, from praising just the A on the test or the goal scored, to also celebrating their effort, their kindness, their resilience when things get tough, their growing self-awareness. This fosters intrinsic motivation, doing things because they matter, not just for the reward. And it deepens that emotional connection. So an example might be, wow, I saw the way you encouraged your friend today when they were struggling. That really shows leadership. Or maybe, I really appreciate how you kept trying with that really hard math problem, even when you were getting frustrated. Focusing on the process, the character.
Those 6 strategies are incredibly actionable. And like you said, deceptively simple but powerful. Now, let's maybe zoom out again for a moment. Looking at the big picture, what do decades of research consistently tell us about parent-teen connection? What are the major takeaways from the scientific community?
Yeah, zooming out is helpful. And what truly stands out is just how consistent the findings are. Across different studies, different decades, we see again and again that warmth and responsiveness from parents. They're directly correlated with teen self-esteem, with their emotional resilience, and with lower levels of depression. Steinberg highlighted this back in 2001.
Oh, okay.
Also, something parents worry about a lot monitoring their teens. What the research shows, like from Dijon and McMahon in '98, is that parental monitoring is actually most effective when it's combined with connection. It's not about suspicion or surveillance. It's about being tuned in because you're connected, because you know what's generally going on in their lives.
Right. Connection enables effective monitoring, not the other way around.
Precisely. And what's also quite remarkable is the long-term impact. Attachment security, that feeling of being safely connected developed in adolescence, is a really strong predictor of better functioning well into adulthood. We're talking better romantic relationships, better academic outcomes, even career functioning. Allen and colleagues emphasized this in 2007. So, it all comes back to that core paradox of adolescence, doesn't it? Teens crave freedom, they push against boundaries, they need independence, but simultaneously they have this deep fundamental need to feel seen, accepted, and anchored by their parents as they navigate all this turbulence.
That's such a powerful thought to hold on to, this idea of them needing both freedom and that anchor. They're still becoming, and they need us. So for you, our listener, let's try and bring this all together, maybe a final reflection as we wrap up.
Yeah, if I were to offer just a concise summary, sort of actionable mindsets for parents listening, I'd say, first, just slow down. Life gets so busy. Try to slow down. Listen without immediately jumping in to fix things. Just hear them. Be genuinely curious. Approach them like you're trying to understand a fascinating person, not like you're interrogating a suspect. Ask questions like a friend might, maybe not like a parole officer.
Distinction.
Yeah. And when you do need to say the hard things, set the boundaries, address the difficult stuff, do it with love, alongside those firm boundaries. And finally, know that you will mess up. We all do. When you mess up, repair it. Go back, apologize, reconnect.
Your teen is still becoming. They're a work in progress, just like we are. And maybe they need you not so much to shape them into some predetermined mold you have in your head, but simply to see them, to see who they are right now, who they're growing into, and to provide that unshakable emotional anchor while they figure it out. So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a little something to consider. A small action you could maybe take tonight or sometime this week. What is one question you could ask your teen that has absolutely nothing to do with school or chores or their responsibilities? Just a question about them. And then maybe just sit in the stillness for a moment. Don't rush to fill the silence. Simply be with them. Be truly present in that moment, even if it's brief. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. Maybe take a moment now to just reflect on what stood out most for you.